I think it's the only way that we're going to survive as an education system and as a country, is coming together in a diverse environment.
A Tulsa teacher tonight on our country's racial divide and the critical role schools play in easing decades worth of tension. This story, a chapter in our Project Safe Schools initiative we're calling the Diversity Discussion.
We want to explore the historic cultural separation in Tulsa and efforts from the city and school districts to create a more inclusive environment. So we start the discussion with perhaps the city's best example of a high-functioning multicultural setting in Booker T. Washington High School, recently ranked by Niche.com as the state's best public high school with an A+ overall grade based on academics, teachers, and diversity, among other categories. And while students and staff rave about the campus, they are not shy speaking about Tulsa's continued challenges.
Learning to make connections across difference allows them to think deeper and feel deeper.
In one of Tulsa Public Schools' most diverse settings, English teacher Kate Knox tackles tough issues head-on. She begins her class with a 15-minute connection circle, a safe space allowing her students to share highs and lows about their day.
Within 3 weeks, I've seen them address really deep issues, poverty, the lack of food source for them in North Tulsa, the use of the N-word in literature and in pop culture.
But while the school environment promotes acceptance, Ms. Knox says the outside forces of bias are real.
When I hear them speak of problems or issues, it's issues with adults who don't understand their culture, who aren't willing to be flexible with their needs, who make assumptions based on what they look like.
Sadly, her students experience the most superficial forms of racism firsthand.
I'll have my hair down and it'll look pretty and stuff, and people say I'm pretty, all that, blah, blah, blah. I'll come with like my natural hair or something and they'll like look at me some type of way.
They're very judgmental and it's unnecessary. Some of the things they say is uncalled for.
These teenagers discuss important problems like the generational impact of the Tulsa Race Massacre and the stark contrast between North and South Tulsa.
That's why I'm here.
And across town, a similar conversation.
It was a massacre.
Middle schoolers at Thoreau Demonstration Academy are studying the 1921 Race Massacre. On a recent field trip to Greenwood, they learned about the devastating impact on the area known as Black Wall Street.
The entire prominent place was completely decimated within a day. It's completely terrifying to think about.
Learning tough lessons from history, they hope will have a positive effect on the future.
I think a lot of good things can come from it. Like we can study and see what's gone wrong and how to do better now.
I think there's tons of room for improvement, but I think we've done way better than we did in 1921.
And then just today in his State of the City address, Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum talked about a 5-year comprehensive plan to tackle racial disparity. It's called Resilient Tulsa and includes small business development in minority communities and partnering with education to address industry skill gaps.